I've been reading, as I said in my last video, Paris Vagabond by Jean-Paul Klerbert. This is translated out of French by Donald Nicholson Smith. This is a New York Review Books classic original. It was first published, it says here, in 1952. I'll be talking more about the book. I'm halfway through it. As I said in my last video, I'm really enjoying reading it. But as I mentioned in my video, other books come to my mind when I read this book, and this book came to my mind, Poor People by William T. Vollmann. This book, it says here these are just some of the answers. Okay, it says, he asked the question, why are you poor? Okay, and it says here, because I was bad in my last life, because Allah has willed it, because the rich do nothing for the poor, because the poor do nothing for themselves, because it is my destiny. That's some of the answers people gave to Vollmann when he asked him, why are you poor? These are just some of the answers to the simple yet groundbreaking question William T. Vollmann asked the cities and villages around the globe. Why are you poor? In tradition of James Agee's Let Us Now Praise Famous Men, Vollmann's Poor People struggles to confront poverty in all its hopelessness and brutality, its pride and abject fear, its fierce misery and quiet resignation. Poor People allows the poor to speak for themselves, explaining the causes and consequences of their impoverishment in their own cultural, social, and religious terms. There is the alcoholic mother in Buddhist Thailand, sure that her poverty is punishment for transgressions in a former life. Her 10-year-old daughter, whose faith in her own innocence gives her hope that her sin in the last life was simply being rich. There is a Siberian-born beggar who pins her woes on a tick bite and a gypsy curse more than a half-century ago, and the homeless widow Afghan woman who have been regulated to respected but damning invisibility. There are the big and little mountain, two Japanese salarymen who lost their jobs suddenly and now live in a blue tarp hut under a Kyoto bridge. And most haunting of all, there is the faded, starving beggar girl staring empty-eyed on the back steps of Bangkok's Central Railroad Station, whose only response to Vollmann's query is simply, I think I'm rich. The result of Vollmann's fearless journey is a look at poverty unlike any other, complete with more than 100 powerfully affecting photographs, taking of the interviewees by the author himself. These series of vignettes and searing insights represents a tremendous step toward an understanding of this age-old ill. With intense compassion and scrupulously unpatronizing eye, Vollmann invites his readers to recognize in our fellow human beings their full dignity, fallibility, pride, and pain, and the power of their hard-fought resilience. So like when I was reading, I read this book. I think this book was published in 2007, and so when I read Paris Vagabond, I think of this book. If you read Vollmann, he takes photos of these poor people who are, all kinds of photographs. In his books, all kinds of photos. It's kind of like the same thing in this book. There's all kinds of photos It's almost documentary, like a documentary. With all kinds of photos. So Vollmann does the same thing in this book, Poor People. And, you know, he has chapters like in the book, I think I'm rich, I think they are poor, Nathalie's children, everything you should do by yourself. And one chapter is in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Russia, China, Japan, Pakistan, India, Colombia, Iraq, Bosnia, the Philippines. He has Kenya, United States. So he goes around the globe and he asks people, why are you poor? Why are you miserable? Why are you... And he records his conversations with these people and what they said. So I really recommend this book if you want a real vivid picture of poor people.